Imagine a beggar receiving a massive $350 from a millionaire and then turning up in the most unexpected place just a day later, the millionaire's lover's grave, who had tragically passed away 23 years prior. If you're interested in learning more about this incredible story, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more exciting and touching tales. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. This stirring account of a millionaire's substantial gift to a beggar woman is a testament to the formidable power of selflessness. The story began with a beggar woman's narrative of her husband's last conversation on a rooftop, as he was poised to leave the world behind, recounting his journey from being this millionaire's late lover to this beggar woman's husband. By imparting this information, the beggar woman successfully initiated a healing process, perhaps unknowingly. The more she told the millionaire, the more it seemed as though there was an energy at work here. This millionaire's decision to offer that generous sum could be more than a coincidence. It was a move of divine intervention. Our propensity for selflessness, as intrinsic a part of the human condition as love, fear, and greed, does not merely have an ephemeral impact on our lives and the lives of those around us. Our natural inclination to assist others when they are going through difficult times not only says something profound about our shared humanity but also reveals a critical component of our mental, emotional, and social well-being. Simply put, our selflessness has a profound impact on the individual and societal planes. On a deeper level, selfless acts pave the way for personal development, encouraging individuals to expand their sense of empathy, leading them to develop more profound connections with the world around them. This phenomenon is deeply interconnected with the psychological concept of emotional connection. Emotion is deeply ingrained within our thoughts, actions, and interactions, significantly affecting how we think and behave. Our well-being heavily relies on having robust close bonds and a multitude of acquaintances with whom we interact. Not being socially and emotionally involved in our communities can lead to boredom, depression, and other emotional imbalances. Moreover, studies demonstrate that it may lead to the diminishment of certain functions like physical and mental decline. On the other hand, contributing to the aid of others helps foster a robust perspective that recontextualizes existing relationships, bringing a renewed appreciation for all that is good in life. A deeper understanding of the role that chemistry in the brain plays may contribute to this cultural movement in selflessness. Scientific studies demonstrate that performing altruistic actions activates pleasure centers within our brain. A lot of brain activity happens within a part called the caudate nucleus that keeps our brain full and provides happiness. Similarly, to satisfaction we get while engaging with enjoyable activities such as social dining with friends and family, selflessness fosters its distinct gratifying sense of belonging and joy. It's these intriguing interactions within brain chemistry and our responses to it that play an essential part in supporting and promoting personal expansion. Consequently, our ever-emerging sense of self is much more clearly defined when we appreciate the rewarding sense of value selfless actions offer. The text at first glance seems be further from the truth. She had indeed received a mysterious voice, which could have been from her subconscious, indicating her to visit that specific grave for a purpose she wasn't aware of. The millionaire was particularly moved when she said the voice had told her to be by the grave of a woman whose name started with M. She was crying because she didn't know anyone by that name. However, her eyes widened as the millionaire pointed to the name on the grave. It would be naivety to completely dismiss the reasoning behind this mysterious voice. One's subconscious often conveys underlying messages that are deeply hidden within our minds. Considering the distinct role of the subconscious, we may question the decision-making process that is involved when choosing particular paths in life. Although we tend to perceive our decisions as tangible, these intangible whispers play a vital role in navigating the choices we come across every day. We might experience inner conflicts between our minds, rational thinking, and the emotions pushed by these underlying messages. Moreover, understanding the depths of our subconscious may help enhance rational decision-making by recognizing the significance of our visceral instincts. Providing a substantial meaning behind the process of intricate decision-making, our daily interactions with the outside world evolve into purpose-driven experiences. Exploring such phenomena might assist us in understanding the profound role that mindfulness plays in attaining knowledge of this intricate network of thoughts that mold our mental frameworks. Mindfulness allows individuals to gain insightful glimpses into what actually influences decision-making. This acknowledgement can lead to a significant shift from ordinary choices that lack purpose to informed choices that encourage self-actualization. With time and practice, our deep roots of self-awareness expand as the acknowledgement of our minds and emotions instill. One can only speculate the degree to which our subconscious influences the selection of experiences we engage with. If this were truly the case, wouldn't our external choices reflect our inner desires, and more significantly, affect the very fabric of our being? By embarking on the journey of understanding this labyrinth-like structure, every fleeting though may hold significant proportions, potentially resulting in a paradigm shift that endows an extended sense of purpose to every waking decision. Would someone find the path to self-discovery by unraveling the knot of suppressed or even latent memories deep-seated within the crevices of one's mind? Can exploring our subconscious fully expand our perception of reality? It can, thereby shifting us from a static point to a dynamic entity molded in coalescence with our subconscious forces. Our innate capacity to adapt could potentially lie at the very edges of decisions swayed by an omnipresent intuition. For a glimpse into our unfathomable world of deep underlying forces that bind decisions, surrender to one's insight. Has ever an overriding feeling steered actions or cautioned restraint? Such unspoken language profoundly informs self-actualization if the conscious and subconscious states entwine harmoniously amidst life's ambiguity. Does uncovering inner narratives mean reconciling disparate inner elements? Perhaps that answer finds semblance as one pays heed to and subsequently deciphers inner monologues with awareness of the ever-present forces shaping judgment and character. As emotional congruence stirs thought life, it would almost appear reason succumbs. We then pause to question the role of intuition in the theater of internal battles. That is to say, does subliminal processes override mental capacities that lead one further towards desired outcomes or draw further away? Contemplation unravels uncharted domains within the mind. The cerebral body shifts perspectives by constantly gathering novel information, some deeply rooted from visceral signals and instinct, lending credence to the theory of internal guidance. Knowing there exists unseen links aiding individuals during moments where choice is starkly defined against the choice's intended impact greatly intensifies emotional awareness in each action's direct scope. Amid such contrasting realities, thought responses to subliminal information, even those where an immediate voice is less palpable, with each intricate reflection becomes easier acceptance and engagement in self-trust. But self-trust through intuition's most powerful dynamic, allowing exploration of one's existence. However, when unraveling intricate entwining of voice, instinctual choice, gut feel, there emerges the immense complexity woven of feelings being entwined by this internal guiding, giving self-discovery perhaps the essential lesson. Our emotions are tied to influences of these underlying voices felt intensely, a mirror on our authentic expression molded in ceaseless negotiation between perceptions, thoughts yet almost consistently, of choosing us and of choosing life, and deciphering this may be our ultimate calling. We often look for answers in visible signs, but true truth emanates within. What lies within has an incredible resilience and propensity, unaccounted by thought's limited dimension, to bring out our true potential, a prospect in unwavering introspection, with one vital condition: embracing one's willingness to hold these forces which mold and discover the path, unseen within the labyrinth of true being, rather than outward exploration, through continuous surrender. The text was so overwhelmed with gratitude that she thanked the millionaire, put the note in her pocket, and started walking away. The very next day, the millionaire received a call from his friend who lived nearby the cemetery. He told the millionaire that he had just seen the same old woman he helped yesterday standing by the grave of the millionaire's late lover. The millionaire couldn't believe his ears. How could this woman, a complete stranger just a day ago, possibly know where his lover was buried? The millionaire then rushed to the cemetery, and there, indeed, she stood. As she noticed the millionaire approaching, she fell to her knees, looked up, and started crying. Her reaction left the millionaire with a mix of confusion and curiosity, and he couldn't help but feel an intense need to understand the reason behind her actions. The beggar woman told the millionaire that the $350 he gave her was indeed the most significant amount she had ever received, but it wasn't the money that made her come to this cemetery. She took slow, deep breaths as she tried to explain her narrative, each word carrying the weight of uncounted sorrow. As she was about to use the $350 for food and rent, she received a mysterious voice in her sleep, telling her to visit this specific grave in the cemetery. Despite trying to hide her trembling hands, they shook uncontrollably as she described the mysterious voice. Many people, after hearing this story, would think that the beggar woman might have seen the name on the grave before visiting the cemetery. However, this couldn't explain why she would be overcome with emotion upon seeing the millionaire approaching. She looked like she had seen a ghost. It was a look the millionaire had witnessed before, one that presented itself at the mere mention of his lover's name. The millionaire wondered what was beyond her words, an otherworldly secret or an out-of-this-world intuition. Questions and speculations rushed through his mind as he struggled to verbalize his unspoken doubts. She also revealed to the millionaire that his deceased lover was grateful for how he was living his life. Despite the hardships, the millionaire was still kind and generous. There was even a message for him. Though the mysterious voice did not reveal its content to her, she was sent to tell the millionaire to, one day, plant a tree in that exact same cemetery, as the spirit of her lover would live on within its leaves, a symbol of eternal love. Her voice trailed off into a soft whisper as she, emotionally, acknowledged the weight of carrying this very crucial information on behalf of someone who had parted from this very earth years ago. Moments of intense sorrow gradually began to ease, and the windswept emotion was now starting to make more sense. Since no mortal on this side could interpret this message into anything tangible, they still left questions, to somehow, against logic, search deep inside themselves for clues that even went beyond the logical connotations. Their silence was no longer just a silence of bereavement, an undeniable glimmer of gratitude filled the quiet. A promise emerged within the beggar woman's eyes that mirrored an atmosphere that spoke of love beyond tombs and centuries. Within these eyes, one could vividly see a world shrouded in love. It reflected how far her husband had reached out for that one message to eventually, silently, deliver it to this particular millionaire standing before her. Her actions brought a glimmer of assurance. If their world beyond could survive the passage of time, then time was hardly a barrier, but more like an accessory, since love beyond flesh transcended mortal barriers. There was boundless peace that came along with every breath she took, her silence painting visions of unseen realms that flowed serenely like nature itself, while embracing both peace and every human being capable of the experience. A calm enveloped this space. That morning chill, which barely touched their heart a short time ago, had completely vanished. In her voice, the same sorrow had changed. Something imperceptible that not many could pinpoint, but a profound evolution, however elusive in the way it had taken shape to deliver that eternal love. To think they could carry messages from another realm yet still be trapped here would help anyone set and keep boundaries, as the love you need was never just ours. Perhaps it, in the world beyond tombs, calls out across all realms with the very same words the beggar claimed, words that never actually died but sometimes changed to give the very same message: she will always be here. Some of those around who knew the late millionaire's lover would read this story. Tears filled their eyes. It still took her peaceful efforts to be able to plant that small yet very symbolic tree that today stood strongly as a message about death that had life to offer, living on despite losing someone in the flesh, for this love will indeed never grow weaker, and any given time. Understanding of our minds creates room for possibilities. Finding our inner harmony will allow us to interact with individuals from a different perspective, initiating profound interactions and potentially shifting life trajectories. It's during profound conversations with unremarkable strangers that we begin realizing the fact that people often get classified into categories due to insufficient insights into their backgrounds and characteristics. Not only does this make us more receptive, but also cultivates profound connections which can unfold in unusual circumstances. Having open interactions with like-minded people that deeply cherish honest conversations greatly shapes world perceptions and a set of established viewpoints toward diverse subjects that might once appear trivial. It enlightens one on how ordinary men and women can bring out extraordinary stories through candid conversations with like-minded strangers. Mental health over time can be taxing, especially when faced with daunting life circumstances. There are numerous ways to cope with such situations, but one particular story stands out in pointing to a crucial method to help people preserve psychological resilience. In our day-to-day lives, we often see people in dire need, and we might show them some kindness if we can. However, we rarely take the time to delve into the lives of these individuals and their eventual turning points. This story serves as a testament to the lives we often overlook. As we navigate the intricacies of our world, we encounter numerous instances where the intersection of serendipity and human interaction can produce remarkable transformations. This phenomenon can best be described as an experience-oriented transformation in the nature of our world that inspires, creates, and motivates an active reality. When we immerse ourselves in the lives of others through compassion and empathy, we open ourselves to transformative encounters that can profoundly alter the course of our lives. These transformative experiences have a profound effect on our psyche, expanding our perception of the world and fostering personal growth. The power of human connection in these situations can not only elevate our mood and well-being, but also give us a new perspective on life. Our capacity to transform and grow as individuals lies within our ability to connect with others and respond to their experiences with compassion. In this dynamic and constantly evolving world, we are all connected through a complex web of relationships. As we navigate these interactions, we often encounter individuals who defy categorization due to their multifaceted nature. These individuals present us with an opportunity to reevaluate our own assumptions and shift our perspectives on the world. Their life stories serve as testaments to the power of resilience and human endurance. Each person's life is a journey marked by both tragic events and triumphs. However, it's their response to adversity that shapes their character and decides the course of their lives. Their narratives represent a complex tapestry of experiences, rich in emotional depth and cultural nuances. Embracing these stories with empathy allows us to expand our worldview and discover extraordinary individuals in our midst. As we navigate the intricacies of these experiences, we come to appreciate the profound value of understanding in building connections that last. The transformative power of human interaction stems from our unique capacity to understand the story of the individual before us. Effective communication means moving beyond superficialities and finding the courage to delve into the complexities of another person's existence. Compassionate understanding begins with our capacity to accept another's experience as they perceive it. To the extent that these individuals overcome challenges that threaten to break them, we all share in their triumphs. Our experiences remind us of our existence and reinforce the common bond we share with others. People suffering greatly demand that we show compassion and deep empathy. It's when we understand our interconnectedness and value human experiences that we establish bonds built on solidarity. At this time, profound relationships reveal our limitless capacity for compassion and transcend the fundamental lack of experience beyond our immediate situations. Transformative stories encourage profound introspection as we confront the complexities of the human condition. Connecting with extraordinary stories and exceptional individuals means broadening our personal worldviews, expanding our perspectives on social issues, and acquiring greater exposure to novel situations and potential outcomes. They allow us to relate deeply to individuals from numerous walks of life and different societal backgrounds. Recognizing the experiences these individuals go through is in many ways reflective of our shared fundamental human elements and a blend of potential elements combined uniquely within each individual we meet. Human compassion generates common sense bonds and transcends socioeconomic backdrops through conversations revealing deep sincerity in simple stories imparted in an engaging spirit. They form a mirror repositioning to look deeper within, compelling our self-reflection through witnessing self-exposures from individuals navigating similar turmoil. It can indeed form bonds revealing truly compassionate human solidarity when people engage by giving mutual assistance freely during times of significant life struggle through profoundly shared conversations on trust over time, allowing greater freedom for our hearts and spirit to connect at a deeper level. Understanding emotional feelings is a rewarding means leading toward deep conversational bonds, creating emotional friendship. People sharing and gaining diverse perspectives leading them from deep knowing their hearts and trust each into human deeper bonds. In the true bond of harmony in trust, engaging in acts of generosity has the potential to stimulate empathetic impulses and advance our capacity for interconnection with others. As such, in the long run, selflessness has transformative potential to reshape the way we interact with others, and even influence how people define and experience themselves within the context of a broader social network. That being said, this is highly influenced by culture and our social environments. A very significant social impact of cultivating selflessness in society would be a sense of unity among members, better interpersonal connections, mental health improvement, and longer lives. Simply stated, the practice of selfless acts ultimately determines how we construct meaning in our individual lives. From such an understanding, we find that helping activates the part of our brain responsible for learning social values, those which most affect how we develop and grow as social beings, engage with one another, and behave in societal contexts. To this end, fostering helpers high within our communities carries considerable social rewards. Interpersonal connections deepen, psychological distress diminishes, and subjective happiness increases, all signs of a better construct for an ideal human society. As it turns out, incorporating selfless acts into our daily lives not only shapes our interactions but also enables us to respond to certain social situations that most of us can find psychologically challenging. Developing this propensity for more selfless behaviors in our cultures eventually helps to shape people that might lean towards altruistic tendencies, have less materialism, accumulate wealth more through the joy of giving, while enjoying life with smaller possessions. Moreover, in choosing a selfless way of living, humans not only invest more in shared values with regards to charity and helping, but one would ultimately aim at uniting our quest for the kind of world that the community needs, as long as empathy is fostered. Practically speaking, societies are shaped by all of us individually, actively participating, whether this be in seemingly little selfless gestures within current workplaces, relationships, extended family dynamics, and neighborhood. Within those societal communities, through unity, essentially, mutual relationships, people living and enjoying such neighborhoods will thrive on social connectedness. A true harmony within societal communities will blossom as understanding amongst all in each such community through all kinds of interactions gradually grow, intergenerational community cooperation even leading to collective cultural heritage preservation. Meanwhile, shared values such as generous behavior, environmental stewardship practices, and support in schools strengthen whole social contexts of regional developments with regards to our behavior influences upon environment, ultimately feeding individual choice to improve such. Generally speaking, developing the concept of helper's high elevated mood as a result of having engaged in acts of altruism mainly occurs through enhancing cooperative behaviors widely within society. Hence, there is substantial interest in current scholarly understanding based on behavioral studies suggesting that even having observed generosity inspired third parties has been noted as promoting kindness. This simply ultimately generates unity. If nurtured, then observed compassionate individuals might give greater insight to encourage one's compassion influence their social behavior. This is worth understanding in terms of emotional expression such that supportive personality enhances shared quality of social life they find desirable among certain roles that individuals would play either in neighborhoods or communities, an area worth the attention of scholars. Developing this compassionate state of mind can begin by educating neighborhood groups and people to notice their tendency of always to think solely for self before recognizing their social footprint upon their environment of relationship existence they have to survive in, their surroundings. This shows growing our culture for care allows one's social environment nurturing empathetic personalities in us and for others in this space building behaviors resulting in less individual strife, less loneliness, less crime ultimately benefiting from good. While the pay-it-forward approach aims to gradually nurture more united communities driven on values individuals within these communities bring with them. Values consisting of shared goals, certain feelings, and understanding at specific time as well to develop even much later. Values bring support relationships and this is just the right set that people want because communities give overall protection, neighborhood feelings, living conditions, our overall lifestyle, unity within relationships. Once it has become more deeply rooted within daily living or personal ethics, such social influences have the ability to alter how selfless an individual might tend to be. They can be then potentially affecting decision processes when more individuals would care and take extra social roles contributing through selflessness either informally such as their best or formally within societies. And it goes above this influencing to a more positive direction than the way we see relationships evolving among people within different cultural setups worldwide. One will be inclined to live most simply for that cause that then defines themselves and their existence within others' life. This should be giving clear unselfish acts that in essence build upon our potential social network. Nonetheless, if every individual lived with a goal of considering less of their wealth however small and whatever other assets we might possess, a sense of unity within individuals defines our societal health or any network or culture we might be part of and living with many who all share and relate on a daily basis despite us living differently and existing in many diverse forms socially, geographically etc. Then we may indeed bring up a high level of peace that individuals need within themselves and outside of them for healthy communal harmony. As indicated by this, an unselfish life will definitely allow development in people. A society formed on an unselfish basis allows an open community with people ready to understand that certain behavior influences our human capabilities. While humans within such community would also live a relatively more untroubled life than those whose social networks consist of egocentric people, rather caring solely on individual interest. Finally, this suggests that when enough of us embrace selfless social behaviors, those behaviors may multiply themselves through values that exist for all in society today more willingly understanding their unique contribution to their social systems. Thus, scholars argue they should be interested in teaching and reflecting upon what has traditionally come from an idea widely encompassing forms of cooperation for unity, forming altruistic relationships that can bring positive personal feelings, interpersonal connection quality gains, development, support for cooperation, furthering happiness. By having more emphasis on value-based feelings of the importance of giving in living an unselfish life, we then may nurture empathy and social cooperation even further within our culture, which could well have a highly impactful influence on human behavioral responses to certain particular events in life. Beyond seeing how people are defined by values of care they contribute in various capacities within communities, and how unity through them continues shaping positive social environments, certain interesting lessons emerge not only from knowing what promotes our deeper relationships formed by common grounds of living, simply living with unselfish values, but also why there might develop, amidst this all, increasing human capacities too for unifying neighborhoods. By acknowledging and appreciating the beneficial effects that selflessness has on individuals who practice it and society as a whole, we can reinforce the emotional gratification it brings, encouraging the widespread adoption of this principle. By striving to understand how and why selfless acts lead to an enhanced sense of pleasure and satisfaction, neuroscientists can unlock new avenues for exploration, revealing the intricate workings of the human mind and its innate capacity for selflessness. Beyond fostering emotional pleasure, practicing selflessness enables users to engage and develop strong emotional connections with individuals around them, with selfless acts providing a profound basis for building harmonious societies, united through a common purpose of enriching their environment. In our complex social ecosystem, practicing selflessness calls for members of society to explore the intricacies of interdependence while fostering critical awareness of the high level at which individual and collective interests overlap. Drawing on a comprehensive insight into an individual's lived experiences, education about social dynamics can elicit the willingness to participate collectively in helping overcome adversities others encounter, and take care of their requirements and need in society by leveraging actions such as active empathy that result in common selfless principles that encourage rewarding feelings in our societies today. Fruitful empathy promotes this unique kind of consideration in the everyday reality we all have to deal with. In contrast to these, individuals who never prioritize selflessness or any other societal practices that elicit positive emotional consequences show different behavioral trends and less solid social bonds in an ever-demanding world. It often promotes a strong contrast, particularly interdependently, forming the baseline response within all our societal tendencies, like the values we hold dear in social dynamics whenever many see adversity amidst challenges. Our response and approach to problems result from an understanding entrenched in our deeper feelings of solidarity to show substantial results in different times and relationships through values and empathic traits to instill a sense of unity against situations most individuals abhor or loathe experiencing. Selfless behavior encourages collective pursuits that give perceived social value to all, since most societies where this forms a basis hold substantial and deep sympathy for their members' needs and requirements and thereby foster cohesion, growth, and enrichment that help nurture highly substantial development opportunities that elevate both individual experiences and overarching expectations intertwined in human involvement given existing social connections within, so to speak, that is built on sustained empathetic behavior that, when it results from most members of the given society pursuing personal goals oriented to others, instills within them profound beneficial pleasures related to overall harmony, personal and shared growth. The helper's high is supposedly due to endorphins that are released during the time an individual performs an altruistic act. When we look at this concept of helper's high further, it raises various questions about the nature of human behavior. How does it affect our daily lives and interactions with others? On a psychological level, the release of endorphins could explain why many people report feeling more energized or uplifted after performing a selfless act. Interestingly, this experience can lead to a cascade effect, encouraging individuals to engage in even more acts of kindness. Moreover, this endorphin rush can contribute to a deeper sense of well-being and long-term satisfaction with one's life choices. Many researchers believe that our bodies reward us for positive actions by releasing these feel-good hormones. It is also hypothesized that engaging in altruistic behaviors may be an evolutionary mechanism that has helped humans develop closer social bonds and thrive as a species.